People think that smaller communities don't have a lot to offer, but they really do. I have to say that Mabou is one of the most supportive communities. If you need anything, people will go out of their way to help you. Things are slower here. I get up early, I work, and then it's like, hey, you want to go to the beach? Hey, do you want to go for a drive? Do you want to go to the trails? I used to paint quite a bit and sketch, and most of my logos start off in sketchbooks, but everything has moved to digital. And it's all word of mouth. I am like the one marketer who doesn't market herself.
Join me down home in Mabou, Cape Breton to meet Sara Rankin, a talented graphic designer and owner of Sara Rankin Creative. After years of living and working away, Sara returned home to her roots. Now she's living her creative dreams and giving back by showcasing the beauty and spirit of the community she loves. Not only will we get to see some of the work she's done for local businesses, we'll also get an inside look at her creative process as she designs our very own Down Home logo.
Sara, thank you so much for having me into your beautiful home. This is actually the house that you grew up in, right?
It is the house I grew up in. We bought it about 2 years ago. My father suddenly passed away, unfortunately, and my mother looked at us and said, I can't put in the wood. You know, like there was too many stairs, all this, you know. So we decided, we were looking for a house in Mabou for quite a while, and we decided to buy this house and put Mom 12 feet in her own little modular cottage, she calls it.
What was it like growing up here in this community for you?
I actually am one of the weird people that loved high school. I really loved growing up here. We were outside all the time, running around till it got dark. Lots of school activities. Having such a large family, there was always cousins around, which makes weddings huge, celebrations huge. You know, there's always great community support here, so. I unfortunately am the untalented Rankin who can't sing. So when I get asked that question, oh, you're a Rankin, you know, do you sing? Do you play anything? And I'm like, the computer.
You're an artist though.
Yeah.
You're a visual artist.
I am, yes. It's a weird title. It's more digital. I do sketch. Like I used to paint quite a bit and sketch, and most of my logos start off in sketchbooks, but everything has moved to digital. I was the girl who headed the decorating committee and the yearbook layout committee and went to all the art classes. And I actually learned in high school that you could make money because in my art class, the boys would pay me to do their art projects. But it did teach me that you could make money off art.
You had inspiration from a young age. You kind of knew what you wanted to do and were supported by the community, but then you went away to school, is that right?
Yes, so I went to community college and I just took their digital arts program. Didn't even know what it was, you know, like really, it was just like, I didn't want to go to university. I just, you know, wanted to take something that I was interested in. And that just really kind of got me started. They teach you the basics of using Adobe Photoshop, Adobe Illustrator, all, you know, like all those things. And me thinking, all right, my 1 or 2 years in here and I'm going to get out and I'm going to get this big, great graphic design job. No, that doesn't happen because most people don't hire, you know, without a ton of experience. Spent a year in Halifax, and that was about around the time that everybody started, my age, started moving out west. So big truckload of us moved out west. I lived with 8 Cape Bretoners in a house.
Oh, that would have been fun though.
It was probably the funnest time of my life. I felt like we were, still in Cape Breton because like everybody would just come there. Everybody we knew was there. And I waitressed for about 3 months and then I went, now. So I went back to school and I went to NAIT in Edmonton. And I cannot say enough good things about NAIT, Northern Alberta Institute of Technology. I learned so much there. And one of the coolest things they do is at the end of the year, before you graduate, they have this huge competition. And you have to do a promotional campaign for an actual organization in Edmonton. So myself and 3 other members did the Edmonton International Film Festival. And you work with them and they typically are like, great, good job, and that's it. But these guys ended up using our campaign.
Wow.
And in the competition, there was like the top guys from the top advertising agencies who were the judges. And at the end of it, one of them walked up to me and said, do you want to work for Calder Bateman? And they were like, dream job. But I also did have to start as, admin, account coordinator. Me thinking I'm going to get in there and be a graphic designer, No, you got to start, Yep. Which at the time taught me in my business now how to do invoicing, how to bill time, how to, organize meetings, there was so much I learned there that I applied to my own business. It was one of the best times. It was the coolest office I've ever seen. You walked in and there was like bicycles hanging off the ceiling and glass walls and big wooden beams and, velvet couches everywhere. And we worked with the coolest clients. It was really exciting. But after a few years, kind of like women in their 30s when they're just, I don't want to have a baby. And then all of a sudden it's like baby fever.
Yeah.
I got the Cape Breton fever and knew I wanted to come home. It was just, I don't know. I had this feeling you need to come home. And that's what I did. I moved back. I remember setting up one website contract before I came home. And it was for an accounting agency in Halifax. And it went really well. And I posted it on my Facebook, and everybody around here is like, you do websites? And then it just started rolling. I think I came back at the right time. It was nobody really had anything going on here. So most of my clients were local, and it was just one after the other. And, I learned as I went. I taught myself. I'm still teaching myself how to code because everything's changing all the time.
Yeah.
But it's amazing what it grew into. And, now I'm working with large companies in Texas and cool musicians in the UK. And, it's just, and it's all word of mouth. I am like the one marketer who doesn't market herself. So it's typically recommendations. It's all like clients recommending me to, their clients. And I mean, that's just a testament to the type of community that this is. If you need anything, people will go out of their way to help you. I've had to, there's a marine a boat builder up the road, needed something delivered. He can get stuff really quick. And, just called him up and he's like, yep, I'll just put it on one of the trucks that's coming down today. And, I don't know. It's just something that you wouldn't find maybe in a bigger city. Those connections, that help, that, everybody, the support, and it just makes me want to help them as well.
thank you for letting me join you in this spot to see the magic.
No problem.
What you do.
Yes. Just
So-
a little taste.
Just a little taste, just a little taste. I know there's lots that you do, but I'm excited to kind of take a look at some of the things. And these are some of the local marketing campaigns that you've done, is that right?
Yes. So this was a recently launched website for Mabou, and although we are a tiny little community, it turned into a monster website because everybody wanted to add their things. But it turned out quite nice because there's quite beautiful photos taken of Mabou all the time. There's sections about our culture. Whole sections where people can search all the different things of what to do, you know, if they want to be on the trails, if they want to go biking, if they want to go to a ceilidh, list of events that is always jam-packed with everything that's going on here. The Meet Our People section, we have, you know, Kate Beaton, world famous, New York Times bestseller, amongst a lot of other very well-known people. And then there's like quick, you know, grab a bite to eat. There's lots of tours around here, from fishing to farms. The square dances was probably one of the most important pages that we had. Oh my goodness, they were all over that.
I love how it's so special that you got to come home and now you're making this beautiful website to highlight the community and the space that you grew up in. How did that feel for you to be able to kind of come full circle?
It's pretty fantastic because I feel like all the community that supported me when I was starting my business, I kind of get to give back to them. It's pretty special to get to work with all these fantastic people. I learned so much about Mabou and, you know, what was here, and was surprised by the amount of activities that we have, places to eat, you know, and I'm even from here, but I couldn't believe how big the site got. Another local that I worked for was DJ McLean and Sons. He builds probably all of, if not all, the homes and houses around here.
Beautiful.
Yeah, he does like really fantastic work. He did updates on the Red Shoe Pub, lots of stuff in Inverness around Cabot, but he does really fantastic services. So this website was really fun to work on. When you have good quality materials, it makes it fun to work on a website like this.
Yeah. And the Red Shoe Pub, very important spot.
Very important spot. So I actually built 2 of their websites. This is the second one because they were one of my first contracts too when I moved home. They was the 3rd website that I built when I moved home, but this is their new one. And again, they always have great photography, beautiful food. Yeah, so that's, you know, the most popular spot in Mabou.
Yes. Yes, it is. I love that spot.
Besides the church, of course.
Of course.
For the locals. That was an important one.
So you did the St. Mary's Church website as well?
I did. And the priest at the time was very progressive. And it was COVID. And he decided that to build a website so that they could film Mass and put it out there for people to, you know, get information, you know, be a part of Mass. And it was quite a nice thing to do at the time. There was a little request put in to see if I could put together a logo for Down Home. So I kind of always check out what's out there right now. And these are kind of the ones that I found on Eastlink, are the other, you know, I don't want to call them competitors, but these were the main ones that kind of popped up. And you get a feel for what's out there, and you always want to do kind of something that's different.
Yeah.
So this would be the first concept. So here's what we came up with at first.
Beautiful.
Now, here's how the logo breaks out. So it's a crashing wave and it's a coastal heart. So it portrays the heartbeat of Nova Scotia and small town spirit. It's a wave of inspiration that embodies the beauty of our rural shores and the ever-changing nature of Nova Scotia's small communities.
Wow, and you have it in the heart with the ocean wave and the colors.
Yep. Also wanted to include, I don't really like brains in logos, but this was my creative way of adding in a kind of thoughts, ideas in a brain pattern. So the vibrant mind, brimming with bold, bright ideas, our dynamic brain, or breath of fresh air, is bursting with inspiration and a solid representation of innovative minds that are breathing new life into small rural communities. I actually like this one a little bit more. I always have a preference. So the second concept, it was more about the rural roots, small town spirit, bold, bright ideas, celebrating genuine stories, growth and resilience, and the vibrant future of rural Nova Scotia towns. So here's what we have here.
Wow, I love that.
I would put rural roots revitalized would kind of work as a tagline for this, and then I kind of explain it all here. So the anchor obviously representing East Coast, Nova Scotia, and there's a lot of deep meaning behind anchors, you know. The vibrant mind, this is where the colorful leaves, we could turn them into speech bubbles, we could turn them into, you know, like there's a lot of different things we could do with them. And then there's a secret smile actually in the logo.
A little hidden secret smile.
It is, yes.
Well, it's funny because when I looked at it, it made me smile right away. So I wonder if maybe that secret smile is talking to me.
And that's not something like you'd point out, but it's just like, it's a positive, right? It's, yeah. Put it together so that people could see what it would look like in real life. Shows all the different layouts, the dark and light styles.
I love being able to see the options of the different merchandising and how it could look in different, you know, like as a website or on a t-shirt.
Yeah,
or a billboard.
exactly.
I love those logos. Those were so
Thank
great.
you.
I have my favorite too.
Do you?
Yes, I do. But I love them both, and I love being able to see the concept behind them and the work that you do to get to the point where the client will be able to kind of have their dreams realized. And then everyone else can see them too.
That's the whole point.
Oh,
Making the clients happy.
Yeah.
Even if you have to do 900 versions.
Hopefully not 900 versions.
No, I used to, and then, but the more you get into it and the more you learn how to put them together, you know, typically it's, you know, there's always a few revisions, but
yeah,
if you do your research, you typically come pretty close.
Sara, how do you and Jerry know each other?
Well, we've been cousins for many, many years, but she had lived overseas for the majority of, the last 20 years?
Close to 20 years.
20 years.
Yeah,
20
we
years.
just came back. Yep.
But she contacted me when she was over there, and she needed a website designed for her business and a logo. We branded you as well.
So you have a business, is it here or was it from away?
It was from away, actually. It's a recruitment business. So
I see.
Yeah, so Sarah did my website for recruitment business. So all of the business is overseas, but I'm able to do it online. So it allowed us to move home and try and start over here while working over there, yeah.
Oh, that's good. So how has that been for you, and what made you want to come back home?
Well, I think a lot of it happened over COVID, to be honest. We were locked down in Abu Dhabi, and we just kind of thought the simpler life is nice, like the quieter life is nice, and we missed being home. And then the first time we got home, it was just through a different lens, seeing everybody around us and just appreciation. And so we just kind of changed gears and then thought, how can we do that? And so after that, I started Harmony Education. And then once we got that going, we just kind of thought it's now or never, and here we are.
And Harmony Education, is that the name of your recruitment firm?
That's the name of my recruitment agency, yeah, Harmony Education. So we recruit teachers from all over the world for schools in the United Arab Emirates, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
And what is it that you find particularly special about this area and community?
Well, I mean, again, I think that new lens that I started to really put things in perspective in a different way. And I think being away and not realizing what I came from, like I didn't appreciate the sunsets and the nature and the trails like when I was a teenager.
I know.
And then traveling and being all over the world and oftentimes sitting at a sunset and saying, we have this in our backyard. And it was then trying to figure out what can we bring here. And so it's kind of all coming full circle now, and it's just so special. Like, and again, it's like something I wasn't really prepared for. You know what I mean? It's just when you're an expat, you have your friends and they're your family, and that's so special, right? And then when you come back, it's like your neighbors are your family, and your people are just rooting for you, you know? And then they're just so happy that we're gonna try and make it work. And
Yeah.
it's just been really incredible. Yeah.
Sara, what do you find so special about coming back to this community? What is your favorite thing about Mabou?
I've lived in many other places, and I can honestly say it's the feeling you get from the community. I knew immediately I wanted to raise my son here. I wanted him to be able to experience some of the same things that we experienced growing up. I know this ages me, but I hear these horror stories about high schools and big cities, and I'm like, oh, that would never happen here. And I want him, to possibly have this same type of childhood that I have, and be raised with family and friends. Especially with the new little Gaelic school too, that's just such a wonderful asset that came to this community. Gives us another option for school. Just things are slower here. I get up early, I work, and then it's like, hey, you want to go to the beach? Hey, do you want to go for a drive? Do you want to go to the trails? Do you want to, it's just, and it's, 5 minutes this way you can do one thing, 5 minutes the other way. There's just, people think that smaller communities don't have a lot to offer, but they really do. With all the new businesses starting, 6 Little Farmers, we'd love to take our son there. And there's just lots of things growing here and new things to experience.
Traveling around Nova Scotia this season, I was continuously overwhelmed by its natural beauty and wonder. Each community displaying its culture with grace and pride. What is it that makes this place so unique? And when we do leave, what exactly is it that keeps calling us back? Stunning landscapes, beautiful sunsets, the wild coast. Yes, but its true beauty transcends all of this. From Yarmouth to Sydney, coast to coast. It's the people, the friendships we forge, the communities we build, the neighbors we cherish, and the families we grow. We will always long to return down home.